The big meeting room was very quiet. Ambassador Dae Sung stood at his desk, looking at the alien leaders around him. They sat in their special chairs, some with scales, some with fur, some with skin that glowed. All of them were very old species. They had been traveling in space for thousands of years. Humans were new here. Earth had only been in space for 300 years. The other aliens thought humans were like children playing with toys. They did not take humans seriously. Today was different. Today someone wanted to take Earth away from humans. A tall alien stood up. His name was War Master from the Velkari Empire. He had dark red skin and 4 arms. His voice was loud and strong. He spoke to the council with confidence. "We claim Earth," he said. "We claim all planets in the human solar system. They are young. They are weak. They cannot protect themselves. We will take their home and use it for our empire." The room was silent for a moment. Then many aliens started talking and laughing. They thought it was a good idea. Earth was just a small planet with weak people. Dae Sung did not show anger on his face. He had been a soldier before becoming a diplomat. He knew how to stay calm. Captain Hana stood beside him. She had fought in many battles. Her right arm was made of metal and computers after she lost it in a war. Her hand made a small sound as she closed it into a fist. "I must speak against this," Dae Sung said quietly. His voice was calm, but everyone could hear him. "Earth is our home. It has been our home for millions of years. You cannot take it." High Counselor Vrextal laughed. He was a big reptile with green scales. He had been alive for 400 years. He thought he knew everything. "Your home?" he said with a smile. "You have only been in space for 300 years. You are babies! The Velkari have been in space for 15,000 years. They are strong. They have conquered 30 other species. You cannot stop them." The War Master showed pictures on the big screen. He showed human ships. There were only 1,200 of them. He showed human weapons. They looked simple and old. He showed Earth with its cities and farms. "Look at them," the War Master said. "They use bullets and missiles. We use energy beams. They have no shields on their ships. We have the best shields in the galaxy. They keep soldiers on their home planet like primitives. Civilized species do not do this. They are weak and stupid." Captain Hana tried to speak. She wanted to tell them the truth. But Vrextal raised his hand to stop her. "Silence," he said. "You are too young to speak here. We will vote now. The vote was fast. 47 species said yes. Only 3 said no. The Velkari could take Earth. It was decided. Dae Sung and Hana walked out of the room. They did not run. They walked slowly like nothing was wrong. But inside, Dae Sung was already thinking, already planning. When they got to their ship, Dae Sung sent a message to Earth. It was in code. Only a few people could read it. The message said, "They are going to attack. Tell Commander Taemin. Use Protocol Omega-7. Hana looked at him. Her face was serious. "They have no idea what they just did," she said quietly. Dae Sung nodded. "No, they do not. They think we are weak because we only showed them our diplomatic ships. They think we are stupid because we keep our military on Earth. They think we will surrender without fighting." He looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, his home, the home of every human in the galaxy. "They are about to learn something," Dae Sung said. "When you threaten a human's home, you do not get a weak defender. You get something much worse. You get a hunter who will never stop until you are defeated." The message was already traveling to Earth at the speed of light. Soon Commander Taemin would read it. Soon Earth would prepare. The Velkari thought they were going to conquer an easy target. They were wrong. Very wrong. But the aliens did not know this yet. They were still laughing and celebrating their vote. They did not know that humans had been preparing for this day since they first met aliens. They did not know about the hidden ships. They did not know about the secret weapons. They did not know anything, and that was exactly what humans wanted. Far from Earth, in the dark space between stars, the Velkari war fleet was gathering. 800 huge warships floated in perfect lines. Each ship was bigger than a city. Their metal hulls reflected the light from distant stars. They looked beautiful and deadly. Fleet Master Korvax stood on the bridge of his flagship. The ship was called Eternal Dominion. It was 15 kilometers long. It had never lost a battle. Korvax was proud of his ship and his fleet. He had conquered many worlds before. Earth would be easy. He called his commanders to a meeting. They appeared on screens all around him. Some were on other ships. All of them looked confident and happy. Today we begin another great conquest, Korvax said. His voice was strong and loud. The humans think they can stop us. They cannot. We have 800 warships. They have only 1,200. We have energy shields. They have none. We have beam weapons that can destroy a planet. They have simple guns that shoot metal. The commanders laughed. One of them asked, "How long will it take to conquer them?" Korvax smiled. 3 days, maybe less. They will see our fleet and surrender immediately. Humans are not warriors. They are merchants and farmers. They will beg us for mercy. But not everyone was so confident. On a nearby space station, a woman watched the Velkari fleet through a window. Her name was Jisoo. She looked like a normal civilian, just another person living in space. But she was not normal. She was a human intelligence officer. She was a spy. Jisoo had been living on this station for 2 years. She pretended to work at a restaurant. She pretended to be friendly with everyone. But every day she watched and listened. She learned secrets. She sent information back to Earth. Now she counted the Velkari ships, 800. She watched them prepare for war. She saw their weapons being tested. She saw their shields being checked. She recorded everything with tiny cameras hidden in her clothes. That night she sent a coded message to Earth. The message told Earth about the fleet. It described their weapons and tactics. It explained how they planned to attack. Most importantly, it noted something very interesting. The Velkari were bringing civilian observers and camera crews. They wanted to record their great victory over the weak humans. Jisoo smiled as she sent the message. "They are so confident," she whispered to herself. "They have no idea what is waiting for them." Meanwhile, a small human ship floated in dark space. It was called Horizon's Edge. Captain Minho commanded this ship. It was a scout ship, small and fast. Most importantly, it was very hard to see. Human stealth technology was much better than anyone knew. Minho and his crew watched the Velkari fleet from far away. They were so far that the Velkari could not see them. But human sensors were very good. Minho could see everything. "They are moving," said his sensor officer. "They are jumping to hyperspace. They are going to human space," Minho nodded. He pressed a button and spoke into his communicator. "Earth Command, this is Horizon's Edge. The Velkari fleet has departed. 800 ships confirmed. They are heading to Mars orbit. They will arrive in 72 hours. A voice came back from Earth. "Understood, Captain. Fall back to Rally Point Gamma. Do not engage. Let them come." Minho turned his ship away from the Velkari fleet. His crew looked confused. One young officer asked, "Sir, should we not stay and watch them?" Minho shook his head. "No need. We know where they are going. We know how many ships they have. Now we go home and prepare the welcome party." He smiled, but it was not a happy smile. It was the smile of a predator waiting for prey. Back on the Velkari flagship, Korvax received a report. His scouts had detected human ships near Mars, but the human ships were retreating. They were running away. Korvax laughed. "See? They run before we even arrive." "They are cowards. This will be the easiest conquest in history." One junior officer seemed worried. She said, "Sir, where are the rest of their ships? We only see a few scout vessels. They said they have 1,200 warships. Where are they?" Korvax waved his hand dismissively. "They are scattered. They are disorganized, probably hiding behind their moon or running to their colonies. Humans are not military people. They do not know how to fight properly." But the young officer was not satisfied. Something felt wrong. The humans were too calm, too quiet. It was like they were not afraid at all. She wanted to say more, but Korvax was already talking to the camera crews. "Make sure you record everything," he told them. "The whole galaxy will watch as we take Earth. It will be glorious." The Velkari fleet jumped through hyperspace. They were going to Mars. They were going to conquer Earth. They thought it would be easy. They were about to learn a very important lesson. Never underestimate humans. Never threaten their home. And most importantly, never mistake kindness for weakness. The hunt was about to begin. But the Velkari did not know they were not the hunters. They were the prey. Deep under the Rocky Mountains on Earth, 3 kilometers below ground, there was a massive command center. The room was filled with screens and computers. Hundreds of officers worked at their stations. This was Earth Defense Command, the brain of human military power. Commander Taemin stood in the center of the room. He was 50 years old but looked younger. His eyes were sharp and intelligent. He had been preparing for this day for 20 years. Now it was finally here. A message arrived from Ambassador Dae-sung. Taemin read it quickly. Then he spoke to his officers. The council voted against us. The Valkyrie are coming. Activate Protocol Omega-7. The room became very busy. Officers started typing and talking. Screens lit up with maps and numbers. Messages went out to every human ship in the solar system. Admiral Yuna entered the room. She was the commander of the Solar Defense Force. She walked to Taemin and saluted. Then she pressed a button. A huge holographic display appeared in the center of the room. It showed the entire solar system. Show them, Taemin said quietly. Yuna touched the screen. Suddenly thousands of small dots appeared. Each dot was a ship. Not 1,200 ships. 50,000 ships. The officers in the room stared, even though they knew the secret. Seeing all the ships together was amazing. Yuna explained, "The council thinks we have 1,200 ships. They are correct. We have 1,200 diplomatic ships. Those are the pretty ones we show to aliens, the ones that make us look friendly and peaceful." She pointed to the screen. "But we also have these. 50,000 combat vessels, built in secret shipyards in the Kuiper Belt, hidden in asteroid fields, concealed in the Oort cloud. The galaxy thought we were building trading ships. We let them think that." Dr. Hyon stepped forward. He was the head of the Advanced Weapons Division. He was a scientist, but today he looked like a warrior. His eyes were bright with excitement. "Let me tell them about our weapons," he said with a smile. He pointed to a picture of a human warship. "The aliens think we are primitive because we do not use energy shields. They are wrong. Energy shields are inefficient. They use too much power. They can be overloaded." He changed the picture. "We use layered nanocomposite armor instead. It is lighter. It is stronger. It can repair itself. And most importantly, kinetic weapons cannot penetrate it easily." Another picture appeared. They laugh at our railguns. They say kinetic weapons are primitive. But our railguns fire tungsten rounds at 0.3% of light speed. At that speed, nothing can stop them. Energy shields are useless against them. More pictures appeared. "We also have nuclear-pumped X-ray lasers, quantum-entangled missile swarms, EMP bombs that can disable entire fleets, and weapons the Council has never even imagined." Taemin nodded. Then he spoke to everyone in the room. His voice was calm but powerful. "The Council made a mistake. They thought we were weak because we are new to space. They forgot something important. We may be new to space, but we are very old at war. We have been fighting for 10,000 years. We have been killing each other with better and better weapons since we lived in caves." He walked around the room looking at his officers. "Other species fight wars to gain territory. They fight to control resources. They fight for honor or pride. But humans? We fight to survive. Every weapon you see today, we invented it to kill each other. Then we made peace, and we turned all that knowledge toward protecting our home." Lieutenant Somin, a young communications officer, raised her hand. She asked, "Sir, why did we hide our strength? Why did we not show the Council our real fleet?" Taemin smiled. "Because we wanted peace. If we had shown our full strength, they would have been afraid. Fear creates enemies. We showed them just enough to be respected, but not enough to be feared. We wanted friends, not frightened neighbors." He paused. "But now they have threatened Earth. They have made their choice. Now they will see what we really are." Admiral Yuna showed another map. This one showed Earth's solar system in detail. Mars was red. The moon was gray. Jupiter was huge and orange. Saturn had beautiful rings. But on this map, every planet and moon was covered with military symbols. "Mars is our forward base," Yuna explained. "The moon has massive railgun batteries hidden under the surface. Earth's orbit has 200,000 autonomous defense platforms disguised as satellites. Jupiter's moons are full of ships. Saturn is our electronic warfare center." She looked at Taemin. "We have turned our entire solar system into a fortress. While other species abandoned their homeworlds, we fortified ours. Every planet, every moon, every asteroid. All of it is a weapon." Taemin nodded. "Excellent. Now send the orders. All ships to battle stations. All defensive platforms to active status. All personnel to combat readiness." He looked at the big screen showing Earth from space. The beautiful blue planet that was home to 20 billion humans. The planet where humans were born. The planet that every human loved, no matter where they lived in the galaxy. "The Valkyrie are coming to take our home," Taemin said. We are going to teach them why that is a very bad idea. We are going to show them why humans never give up. We are going to show them what happens when you threaten Earth. Lieutenant Sumin sent a message to every human ship and base in the solar system. The message was simple: all units, this is not a drill. Enemy incoming. We are weapons-free. Defend Earth. All across the solar system, humans prepared for war. Millions of men and women went to their battle stations. Thousands of ships powered up their weapons. The galaxy thought humans were peaceful merchants. They were about to learn the truth. Humans were survivors, and they would do anything to protect their home. The Velkari fleet arrived at Mars. 800 massive warships dropped out of hyperspace in perfect formation. Their energy shields glowed with power. Their weapons were charged and ready. Fleet Master Korvax stood on his bridge, confident and proud. "Scan for human ships," he ordered. His sensor officer worked quickly. After a moment, he looked up with surprise on his face. "Sir, I detect no warships. 0 military vessels in the area. Only civilian stations and cargo ships." Korvax frowned. "Nothing? Where are their ships?" "Unknown, sir. We are receiving transmissions from Mars colonies. They are broadcasting surrender messages. They are asking us not to attack them." Korvax smiled. He knew it. The humans were cowards. They surrendered without even fighting. This would be the easiest conquest ever. "Move the fleet into occupation formation around Mars," he ordered. "Prepare landing forces. We will take control of their colonies first." The Velkari ships moved into position. They formed a wide circle around the red planet. It was a standard occupation formation. They had done this many times before on many other worlds, but something was wrong. The young officer who had been worried before spoke up again. "Sir, this is too easy. The humans would not give up their home without fighting." "Something is not right." Korvax waved his hand. "Silence. You worry too much. They are weak. They know they cannot win. They are being smart by surrendering." That was when Mars opened fire. What the Velkari thought were colony domes suddenly opened like flowers. Inside were massive railguns. What looked like industrial buildings were actually weapons platforms. What seemed like communications towers were missile launchers. All of Mars was a trap. Thousands of tungsten rounds shot out at incredible speed. They moved at 0.3% of light speed. The Velkari energy shields were designed to stop energy beams. But these were solid metal projectiles. The shields did nothing. 15 Velkari ships were hit in the first 3 seconds. Metal rounds punched through their hulls like paper. Explosions bloomed across the fleet. Alarm screamed on every ship, "Return fire!" Korvax shouted. "Destroy those weapons!" But before the Velkari could respond, something else happened. Space behind them rippled and twisted. Hundreds of human ships appeared from nowhere. They had been hiding, using stealth technology the Velkari did not know existed. Captain Jiho commanded the battle carrier Indomitable Will. His ship was smaller than the Velkari dreadnoughts, but it was much faster, and it carried 5,000 fighter drones. "All ships engage at will," Jiho ordered calmly. "Remember, we are not here to defend. We are here to hunt." The human ships attacked, but they did not fight like the Velkari expected. There was no formation, no organized lines. They moved like a swarm of angry insects, fast, chaotic, unpredictable. Wing Commander Nari led her fighter squadron. Actually, it was not a squadron of human pilots. It was 5,000 autonomous drones. Each drone was small and fast. Each carried a small nuclear warhead. They moved together like a school of fish, changing direction instantly, impossible to predict. The Velkari point defense systems tried to shoot them down, but there were too many. They moved too fast. The drones swarmed over Velkari capital ships like ants on a giant. Small nuclear explosions burst across the enemy fleet. The worst part for Korvax was the targeting. The humans were not just shooting randomly. They were targeting specific systems. Communications arrays, sensor pods, engine controls, command bridges. The humans were not trying to destroy the Velkari fleet. They were trying to disable and capture it. This was not a desperate defense. This was a planned hunt. The humans were not fighting to survive. They were fighting to win. Korvax watched his tactical display with growing horror. His fleet was being torn apart. Already 50 ships were destroyed or disabled. And the humans had not lost a single capital ship. "Not one. How?" he whispered. "How is this possible? They are primitives. They are weak." His tactical officer shouted, "Sir, more human ships are appearing. Hundreds of them. They were hiding in the asteroid belt. Korvax made a decision he had never made before in his long military career. "Retreat," he said quietly. "What, sir?" his officer asked in shock. "Retreat," Korvax shouted. "All ships fall back toward Jupiter. We need to regroup." The Velkari fleet turned and ran. They were no longer an organized military force. They were a frightened mob running for their lives. They had come to conquer Earth. Instead, they were fleeing from Mars. Korvax sent an emergency message to the Galactic Council. His voice shook as he spoke. "This is Fleetmaster Korvax to Council." The intelligence was completely wrong. The humans are not primitive. They are not weak. Their technology is far beyond what we expected. They have weapons we have never seen. I have lost 150 ships already. I am requesting immediate reinforcement." He paused. Then he added quietly, "They were not defending. They were hunting us, like we were prey." Back on his bridge, the young officer who had been worried looked at Korvax. She did not say anything. She did not need to. They both knew the truth now. The humans had been waiting for them. This was all planned, and it was far from over. The Battle of Mars was just the beginning. The real horror was waiting for them at Jupiter. The Velkari fleet limped toward Jupiter. They had started with 800 ships. Now they had 650. 150 ships were destroyed or captured at Mars. Korvax sat on his command chair, staring at nothing. His pride was gone. His confidence was shattered. "How far to Jupiter?" he asked quietly. 2 hours, sir," his navigator replied. "We can use Jupiter's gravity to slingshot into hyperspace. Then we can escape back to Velkari space." Korvax nodded slowly. 2 hours. "We just need to survive 2 more hours." But the young officer who had been right before spoke up again. Her voice was shaking. "Sir, the humans let us go. They could have destroyed us at Mars, but they let us retreat." "Why would they do that?" Korvax looked at her. He knew she was right. The humans had superior numbers at Mars. They could have destroyed the entire Velkari fleet. But they let them escape toward Jupiter. Why? He realized the answer. It is a trap. Jupiter is a trap. His tactical officer checked his sensors. "Sir, I cannot scan Jupiter properly. There is too much radiation, too much electromagnetic interference. It is like a natural stealth field." Korvax understood. "Change course. Avoid Jupiter. Plot a different hyperspace jump." The navigator worked quickly. Then he looked up with fear on his face. "Sir, I cannot. Human ships are following us. They are hurting us. They are forcing us toward Jupiter. If we change course, they will attack our engines." Korvax realized the terrible truth. The humans were not just fighting them. The humans were controlling them. Every move the Velkari made was exactly what the humans wanted. They were being led like animals to slaughter. The fleet approached Jupiter. The giant planet filled their view screens. It was beautiful and terrifying. Its massive storm swirled across its surface. Its radiation belts glowed with deadly energy. Then Jupiter's moons lit up. Every single moon. Europa, Io, Ganymede, Callisto. All of them. What the Velkari thought were natural satellites were actually massive military bases. Weapons platforms appeared. Missile batteries activated. Railgun installations powered up. But that was not the worst part. The worst part was Jupiter itself. The radiation belt suddenly cleared, and hiding inside them, invisible until this moment, was the human main fleet. 30,000 warships. Maybe more. They had been there the entire time, waiting in perfect silence. A voice broadcast on all frequencies. It was calm and professional. "Velkari fleet, this is Admiral Yuna of the Human Solar Defense Force. You have entered our primary defensive perimeter. You are completely surrounded. You have 3 minutes to surrender, or we will destroy every single one of your ships. Choose now." Korvax looked at his tactical display. Human ships were everywhere. In front, behind, above, below. On the moons. In Jupiter's rings. Hidden in the asteroid swarms. His fleet was trapped in a sphere of human warships. Every single Velkari ship had multiple human ships targeting it. If they fought, they would all die. Something else appeared on his screen. 50 human stealth ships deactivated their cloaking fields. They had been following the Velkari fleet since Mars, following so close they could have touched the Velkari ships. Each stealth ship had weapons locked on a Velkari command vessel. They had been there the entire time, invisible, waiting. Captain Borum commanded one of these stealth ships. He sent a simple message to Korvax. It said, We have been with you since you entered our system. We could have killed you at any moment. Think about that. Then another transmission came through. This one was from the Galactic Council chamber. Ambassador Daesung appeared on the screen. Behind him, Korvax could see the entire council watching. Every species in the galaxy was seeing this. Daesung spoke calmly. Fleetmaster Korvax, the council is watching. We wanted them to see this. You came to take our home. You came with 800 ships thinking we were weak. You thought we were primitives who would surrender without fighting. He paused. You were wrong. We are not weak. We are survivors. For millions of years we survived ice ages, predators, diseases, and each other. We climbed to the top of our planet's food chain. Then we conquered our planet. Then we reached for the stars. And we did all of this while never forgetting one simple rule. Protect your home at all costs. Daesung stepped closer to the camera. You see 50,000 human ships here. You think this is our full fleet, it is not. This is 10% of our military power. We showed you only what we needed to show you. Everything you learned about humanity was controlled by us. We let you think we were weak. We wanted the galaxy to see what happens when someone threatens Earth. He looked directly at Korvax. Now you will surrender. You will stand trial under galactic law for attempting to conquer a sovereign world. Your ships will be returned to your people. Your war criminals will be punished. But you will live. We could kill all of you right now, but we choose not to. That is what civilized species do. We give mercy to those who surrender. Admiral Yuna's voice came back. 1 minute remaining, Fleet Master. Surrender or die. There is no third option. Korvax looked around his bridge. His officers were staring at him. Some looked angry. Some looked scared. Some looked defeated. They all knew the truth. They had lost. Completely and totally lost. Korvax had commanded fleets for 60 years. He had conquered 30 worlds. He had never surrendered. Never even considered it. But now he had no choice. He pressed the communication button. His voice was quiet and broken. This is Fleetmaster Korvax. The Velkari fleet surrenders. All ships power down weapons and shields. It is over. All across the Velkari fleet, lights went dark. Weapons powered down. Shields collapsed. 650 warships surrendered. The largest military surrender in galactic history, and the entire Galactic Council watched it happen in real time. Humans began boarding the Velkari ships, but they were not cruel. They were professional. They gave medical care to the wounded. They provided food to the hungry. They treated the Velkari with respect even though the Velkari had come to destroy Earth. This confused Korvax. He asked a human officer, "Why are you being kind to us?" "We came to take your home." The human officer smiled. "Because you surrendered. When an enemy becomes a prisoner, we treat them with dignity. That is what makes us civilized. We fight like demons when we must, but we show mercy when we can. That is the human way." Korvax understood then. The humans were not monsters. They were not primitive. They were exactly what they claimed to be. Protectors, warriors when necessary, merciful when possible, and absolutely terrifyingly effective. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Never threaten Earth, because humans will do anything to protect their home. Anything at all. The Galactic Council chamber was in complete chaos. Aliens were shouting at each other. Some were angry. Some were scared. Some were in shock. They had just watched 800 warships surrender to the species they thought was primitive and weak. High Counselor Vrextal sat in his chair with his mouth open. He could not believe what he had seen. The humans had crushed the Velkari fleet. They had made it look easy. And they had broadcast the entire thing for the galaxy to see. Ambassador Daesung stood calmly at his desk. Captain Hana stood beside him with her arms crossed. Both of them looked very serious. They waited for the chaos to settle down. Finally, Vrextal stood up. His voice was loud and angry. "You lied. You said you had only 1,200 ships. You said you were peaceful explorers. You deceived us." Daesung raised one eyebrow. His voice was calm. "We told you we had 1,200 ships in our diplomatic fleet. That was true. We never said that was all we had. You assumed we were weak because we were new to space. That was your mistake, not ours." Captain Hana stepped forward. "You want to know why we did not show you our full strength? Because we wanted peace. If we had shown you 50,000 warships on our first day, you would have been afraid. Fear creates enemies. We wanted friends, not frightened neighbors." She activated a holographic display. It showed human military history. Wars, battles, weapons, soldiers. Thousands of years of warfare. You think we are primitive because we only recently came to space. You are wrong. We have been perfecting warfare for 10,000 years. Every weapon you saw today, we invented it to kill each other. Then we made peace among ourselves and turned all that knowledge toward protecting our home. Ambassador Kyung, the human cultural attaché, joined the conversation. She was an older woman with kind eyes, but her voice was firm. You all abandoned your home worlds, she said. You moved your civilizations to space stations and colony worlds. You think keeping military forces on a home world is primitive. You are wrong. We keep soldiers on Earth because Earth is sacred. It is where we evolved. It is where our ancestors are buried. Every human, no matter where they are born in the galaxy, considers Earth their home. She looked around the chamber. You threaten Earth, you threaten every human everywhere. 20 billion people on Earth. 50 billion more humans across the solar system and colonies, all of them ready to fight to protect their homeworld. That is what you missed. Counselor Ithara, representing a peaceful species, spoke up. Her voice was shaking. She was frightened of both sides now. What do you want from us? Territory? Resources? Power? Are you going to conquer us all now? Daesung smiled. It was a gentle smile. We want exactly what we have always wanted. To be left alone to live our lives. We want to trade with you. We want to share culture and knowledge. We want to be your friends and partners. But we also want you to understand something very clearly. His smile disappeared. His voice became hard. What you saw today was a demonstration. We used 10% of our military capability. Only 10%. We let the Velkari fleet come to our system. We let them think they could win. We wanted you all to see what happens when someone threatens humanity. Hana continued. We are releasing the Velkari fleet. We are keeping only their war criminals for trial under your laws. We are giving their ships back. We are treating their wounded. We are showing mercy, she paused. But understand this. We showed mercy because they surrendered. The next species that threatens Earth will not be so lucky. The next fleet that approaches our home with hostile intent will not be disabled and captured. It will be destroyed completely, permanently, no survivors, no prisoners, nothing. The chamber was silent. Every alien understood the message. Humans would be peaceful if you left them alone, but if you threatened their home, they would be absolutely merciless. Rextal spoke again. His voice was much quieter now. What do you want from the council? Daesung answered 3 things. First, recognize Earth and all human territories as permanently sovereign. No species may claim them. No fleet may approach within 50 light-years without permission. Second, grant humanity full council membership with equal voting rights. Third, update your records. We are not newcomers to be dismissed. We are equals to be respected. He looked around at all the aliens. We do not want to rule the galaxy. We do not want to conquer anyone. We just want to be left in peace. But we will protect ourselves. And we will protect our friends. Choose which category you want to be in. The council voted. It was fast this time. Unanimous, 50 species voted yes. 0 voted no. Earth was now a protected sovereign world. No one could claim it. No one could threaten it. Humanity was granted full council membership. But something else happened too. 7 species immediately requested meetings with human ambassadors. They wanted to discuss defense treaties and trade agreements. 3 other species facing threats asked Earth for help. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted completely. After the meeting, Vrextal approached Daesung privately. The old reptile looked tired and defeated. I underestimated you, he said quietly. I thought you were children playing with spaceships. I was wrong. I apologize, Daesung nodded. Apology accepted. We understand. Many species have made the same mistake. We are new to space, but old at everything else. Remember that, Vrextal asked. Was it true? Do you really have more ships than you showed us? Daesung smiled but said nothing. That silence was more terrifying than any answer. Later, Daesung and Hana stood looking out at the stars from their ship. Earth was not visible from here, but they both knew where it was. Home. Always home. Do you think they learned their lesson? Hana asked. Some did, Daesung replied. The smart ones understand now. We are not conquerors. We are not pacifists. We are protectors. We protect humanity first, our friends second, and we are indifferent to everyone else. As long as they leave us alone, we leave them alone. And the ones who did not learn? Daesung looked at the stars. They will learn. Eventually. Or they will not be around to make the same mistake twice. Either way, the galaxy now knows. Do not threaten Earth, do not threaten humanity, because we only need to teach this lesson once. Somewhere in the distance, Earth continued spinning, blue and beautiful and peaceful. But now everyone in the galaxy knew the truth. That peaceful planet was protected by the most dangerous species they had ever met, and that was exactly how humans wanted it. 6 months had passed since the Battle of Jupiter. The galaxy was different now, very different. The news of humanity's victory had spread to every corner of known space. Everyone was talking about the humans who defeated the mighty Valkyrie Empire without even using their full fleet. Ambassador Daesung was now senior counselor for human affairs. He worked in the Galactic Council every day, making new agreements and treaties. Dozens of species wanted to be friends with humanity now. Some because they admired humans, others because they were afraid. Daesung did not mind either reason. As long as there was peace. Commander Taemin remained on Earth, overseeing human expansion into new territories. But this expansion was different from what other species did. Humans did not conquer. They asked permission from the Council first. They negotiated fairly. They shared technology. They built relationships, not just colonies. But every human colony had one thing in common. Nearby, hidden but ready, was a military base. The lesson of Earth applied everywhere humans lived. Protect your home. Always, Dr. Yoonji led the cultural exchange programs. Humans learned alien music, art, and philosophy. In return, they shared human culture. The most popular thing humans shared was food. Aliens were fascinated by human cuisine. Some found it delicious. Others found it terrifying. But everyone wanted to try it. One alien diplomat famously said, "Humans will eat anything. They have something called hot sauce that could melt metal. And they put it on food for fun." But even he kept coming back to human restaurants. Captain Hana was training the first joint military units combining humans and aliens. She taught aliens human tactics. They taught her alien technology. The combination was incredibly powerful. Pirates and raiders who once terrorized trade routes were now hunted by these combined forces. Crime rates dropped across the galaxy. But the most important program was what humans called the Open Hand Protocol. Admiral Yuna managed this program. It was simple. When peaceful species faced threats they could not handle alone, humans helped them, for free. The Threxian species faced disaster when their star began dying. They did not have the technology to evacuate their entire population. Humans built them transport ships. Humans helped them find new homes. Humans asked for nothing in return. The peaceful Quillan people were invaded by aggressive neighbors. Human ships arrived within 3 days. The invaders fled immediately. The Quillan asked how they could repay humanity. Humans said friendship was payment enough. A terrible plague threatened the Moran civilization. Human medical teams worked without rest to create a cure. They succeeded. Millions of Moran lives were saved. The Moran offered humans anything they wanted. Humans asked only to be allowed to help again if needed. Each action reinforced the message. Humans protected those who could not protect themselves. Humans helped their friends. But if you threatened humanity or their friends, you faced terrible consequences. The Valkyrie Empire was different now, too. After their defeat, they had undergone major changes. War Master Korvax had been put on trial and found guilty of warmongering. He was sentenced to 20 years of service helping rebuild species his empire had conquered. He accepted this with dignity. Surprisingly, Korvax and some human officers became friends during this time. He told them, "You defeated us completely. But you treated us with honor. You showed us a better way. We were conquerors. You showed us how to be protectors instead." On Earth, in Commander Taemin's office deep under the Rocky Mountains, he had a holographic conversation with Ambassador Daesung. They talked about the future. "The galaxy has changed," Daesung said. "Most species respect us now. Some fear us, but all of them leave us alone. That is what we wanted." "What about the aggressive species?" Taemin asked. "The ones who still think they can challenge us?" Daesung smiled. "They are learning, slowly. 3 species tried to test us in the past 6 months. Small things, border disputes, trade violations. Each time we responded firmly but fairly. We did not destroy them. We just showed them we were watching. They backed down quickly. And if someone is foolish enough to attack us again," Taemin's expression became serious. Then they will learn what the Velkari learned. But they will learn it the hard way. We gave the Velkari mercy because they were the first to threaten us. The next attackers will not get that chance. They both looked at a screen showing Earth from space. The beautiful blue planet looked peaceful. Cities glowed on the night side. Clouds swirled over oceans. It looked innocent and vulnerable. But both men knew the truth. That planet was protected by millions of soldiers. Thousands of hidden ships, weapons that could destroy entire fleets, and most importantly, by billions of humans who would die before letting anyone take their home. Far away on a frontier world, an old woman sat in her garden. Her name was Grandmother Sook. She was 127 years old. She was born before humans reached the stars. She remembered when Earth was alone in the universe. The Galactic Council had asked her to record a message that would be broadcast to every species in the galaxy. She agreed. The recording started. Sook smiled at the camera. "Hello, my name is Grandmother Sook. I am very old now. I was born before we met you. Before we knew there was anyone else out there among the stars. I remember when we thought we were alone. We found you. And we are so happy we did. We want to be your friends. We want to trade stories and share meals. We want to learn from each other. We want our children to play with your children. We want our species to grow together in peace." She paused. Her smile faded slightly. "But I am also a mother, a grandmother, a great-great-grandmother, and I want my children's children's children to grow up on Earth, this beautiful planet where humanity was born, where our ancestors lived and died for millions of years. So I am asking you as a grandmother to the galaxy, be our friends. Trade with us, learn with us, grow with us. There is room in this galaxy for all of us to live in peace and happiness." Her expression became very serious. "But if you cannot be our friends, then please just leave us alone. Let us live in peace. Because those humans who built the warships, who fought that battle, who created those weapons, they are my children, my grandchildren, and they learned everything from me. They learned to be kind. They learned to be generous. They learned to help others. But they also learned to protect their family, to protect their home, to never give up, to fight to the last breath if necessary. I taught them that too. Every human grandmother teaches their children this. It is part of who we are." She smiled again, but it was a sad smile. "So you have a choice. Will you be friends of humanity, or will you learn why you should have been? I really hope you choose friendship. I have seen enough war in my lifetime. I want my great-grandchildren to live in peace. Why, please choose wisely. We want to love you, but we will protect ourselves if we must. That is the human way. That is who we are. That is who we will always be." She stood up slowly, her old bones creaking. "Thank you for listening to an old woman. I hope we can all be friends. Goodbye." The recording ended. It was broadcast across the entire galaxy. Every species heard it. Every government received it. Everyone understood the message. Humans wanted peace. They wanted friendship. They wanted to help and be helped. But if you forced them to fight, they would fight with everything they had. They would never surrender. They would never stop. They would protect their home at any cost. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Earth was not to be threatened. Humanity was not to be underestimated. And the species that remembered this lesson lived in peace with humans. The species that forgot learned it again the hard way. Years passed. Decades passed. Humans continued to explore and expand. They made more friends. They helped more species. They built a reputation not as conquerors, but as protectors, as helpers, as good neighbors, but they never forgot. They never stopped building ships. They never stopped training soldiers. They never stopped protecting Earth, because that was the most important lesson of all. Home is worth fighting for. Home is worth dying for. Home is everything. And Earth would always be home, no matter how far humans traveled among the stars. The galaxy was a better place now, more peaceful, more cooperative, more friendly. And humanity had helped make it that way, not through conquest, but through strength tempered with kindness, through power used wisely, through the simple message, be our friend or leave us alone, but never ever threaten our home. And so humanity found its place among the stars, not as rulers, not as victims, but as equals, as friends, as protectors, as survivors who had climbed to the top of their world, reached for the stars and found a galaxy full of possibilities. They had shown the galaxy what they were capable of. Now they would show the galaxy what they could become together, and it was going to be amazing.